Right, champ. So 9 months ago in October 2024, I did something that felt like truly could be the biggest dumbass move that I could ever make for my business. I stopped doing sales calls. But here's the thing, something absolutely wild ended up happening, because in the past 9 months, I've now collected over $530,000 cash from my consulting business without doing a single sales call and without a sales team to manage. No setters, no closers, it's just me. So if you're like most education business owners who think you need sales calls to close high-ticket clients, that's just not the case anymore. Look, just a year ago, I used to be just like you. I was spending hours every single day on Zoom calls, trying to convince strangers to work with me, getting exhausted talking to random people who half the time just weren't even qualified. But in October 2024, I made what felt like a massive leap of faith. I was living in Cape Town at the time, trying to escape the bullshit UK weather. And I was like, screw it. I'm just going to go all in on never doing sales calls again. And here's the crazy part. From that moment forward, my business exploded. So I haven't done a single sales call in the last 9 months. Frankly, I intend to never do one for the rest of my life because times are shifting. You think the new generation of kids are going to be comfortable hopping on calls with strangers when they want to buy stuff? Fuck no. Sales calls are going to be dead within the next 10 years. So why wait? Just stop doing them now. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through my exact 3-step chat to close system that's made me over $500,000 without sales calls in the past 9 months. And if you want a full breakdown of exactly how this works, including my offer document that's closed over $500,000, then just hit the link down below, DM me on Instagram, the number 77, and I'll just send you everything. Because here's what I realized. There's a massive difference between marketing-based conversion, which is what I do, and sales-based conversion, which is what most people do. Now, most people are stuck in that sales-based world where you need to jump on shitloads of calls and try and persuade people one-on-one. But I run a model based on marketing-based conversion. That's where strong marketing equals easy sales. And look, I get it. 3 years ago, I had a mentor too who told me I needed to be in the DMs, spending hours every single day, opening hundreds of conversations. And it was just a pure volume game. But I was spending all day just DMing random people like a fucking monkey. Anyone could do that. But I was never actually closing anyone because I was too scared to ask people to get to the next step. Look, here's the thing. If you're anything like me, you probably hate spending all your time on Zoom calls. I mean, honestly, Zoom calls exhaust me. They give some people energy. They fucking knacker me out. And screw doing it with strangers. I'd rather be helping my existing clients win. Like helping them by creating content for them or creating content for my audience like you guys, or actually just living my life. But all these other gimps out there are telling you that you need to have a sales team, grow a sales team, have a setter, have appointment setters, have fucking sales closers. You need to be doing cold outreach 1,000,000 times a day. And well, look, that's not me and that's not what we do here. My core philosophy is simple, right? Okay, it's long-term games with long-term people. I ain't gonna be the fucking nerd who treats this like a video game, but I'm using this business to actually fuel my dream lifestyle. Traveling, spending time with my family, actually maybe having a few beers with my mates at the weekend instead of working every single weekend like some of these big other online creators tell you to do. So fuck that. Let me break down my 3-step chat to close system. It's made up of 3 simple components, okay? The first part here is brand. This is where you are going to build leverage and ultimately trust to help people convert really easily. The way we do this is by building what I call a goodwill bank account. Now, this is based on Google's 7-11-4 rule that they found that people need to consume at least 7 hours of content across 11 touch points in 4 different formats before they'll buy something online. So you need to create a bank of long form content where you give away so much intellectual property that the people who watch it feel like they owe you something. And this is called the law of reciprocity. This is from Robert Cialdini's book, Influence, The Power of Persuasion. If I give you something valuable, you feel indebted to me. And then next up is messaging. And frankly, no one ever talks about this, but you don't just need magnetic messaging, you need repellent messaging. Everyone focuses on how do you create messaging that's magnetic, but the most effective way to create magnetic messaging is to actually be repellent, push people away with the words and the language that you use. The way you do this is by creating an us versus them dynamic. Now, for me, I'm positioning myself as the leader of creators who hate sales calls, right? That's one of the things. But they don't want to be spending time talking to random people and would rather focus on helping their clients win like I do. And then what you need to do is is you need to throw rocks at the people on the them side. And for me, this is like, the people who do sales calls. They build the sales teams, they do the manual cold outreach. Those people can get fucked. And when I say that, I'm pissing people off who do those things and then they leave. But by doing that, I'm also attracting probably you, who's like, finally, someone who gets it too. And look, if you want to see exactly how I structure these kinds of messages and build this kind of authority, everything that I've done is in the offer document that I mentioned before. So just hit the link down below and hit me up on Instagram, DM me the number 77. You'll get it so you can see it yourself. Okay, the second step here is conversations, but here's the key mindset shift, okay? We are hunting heat, not volume. We're not trying to talk to everyone. We're looking for intent triggers from the hottest people in our pipeline. So here's how I rank prospects from coldest to hottest. Now, the coldest people in your pipeline are the new followers. Don't sell to these people because they don't know who the fuck you are yet. The next is followers. These people are still cold. I don't sell to them anymore, but you could try. Then we have people who are engaging in your content. These are people who are commenting, liking, maybe sharing your stuff. You can definitely start conversations with those, but the next people are way, way warmer. One of the best pools within your audience to go and start conversations with are the people who view your stories, specifically on Instagram. These are the people who are really invested in you as a person. They're like seeing your life, your lifestyle, and they are frankly some of the hottest people that are in your audience. Next up, we have hand raisers. These are people that have just responded to CTA. So you say, hey, I'm looking for 5 people who are like X, Y, and Z. Who's interested? And then maybe they DM you or do what I do, which is get them to DM you a keyword. And then those are people who have literally raised their hand and said, yeah, I like the sound of that. Let's go. Okay, and then the hottest people in your audience, in your pipeline, are people who have actually paid you money before. So these could be previous clients who've worked with you, or in our world, what we do is we give people the opportunity to make what we call trust transactions. These are kind of like little micro offers where, we call them behind the curtains offers, where these are designed to give people like a peek behind the curtains of how you actually work with your clients. So for me, I run workshops occasionally, I run masterclasses every single week for my clients, but occasionally I open up some seats for people who might be interested in checking out what we do and also helping them, in the same time. And so those people have actually paid me money. These people I've found to be the absolute hottest, and this is where you want to be investing your energy and time into these people. Right, here's the thing though, okay, I only focus my energy on a very specific type of prospect, and I define these as 4-star or 5-star prospects. Here's how I define them. So these are people who are responsive. They actually respond to your questions and DMs. They pass the vibe check. These are actually people that you would want to work with. They have to know what they want. So they actually have a goal and a clear idea of what they want. And they kind of have to know when they want it. And then finally, they need to actually want to have some help or have someone to help them. Here's the simple way to differentiate between 5-star and 4-star prospects. So 5-star prospects, they want help now. 4-star prospects, they want help not right now. Look, and honestly, I've just stopped trying to help and convince people to move from when to now. If now is not the right time, I ain't gonna pressure them, okay? I'm just gonna leave them to it and let's see what happens down the line. And then finally, instead of following a script, I follow a framework. So the first question I ask is what I call a this or that question, where I just say, hey, are you here for the vibes or are you looking to grow your business this year? Now, this is a really key question because what this does is this immediately diffuses the conversation tension and gives people an out. So they don't feel like I'm selling to them. The big frame that you need to sell from when you're selling from the DMs is this feeling of like, hey, I don't need to sell you. I don't need this business. Let's just figure out if this conversation makes sense. And if it does, then we will finally make an offer. And then that is the final step, which is closure. And if any of you guys have seen the film Glengarry Glen Ross with Alec Baldwin, you will know the line, the iconic line of
A, B, C. A, always, B, C, closing. Always be closing.
Always be closing. A, always, B, C, closing. Always be closing. I think I got that right. But here's the thing, I have a different definition of closing to most people. So closing for me isn't about getting people to send you the money. Closing is asking a prospect to go to the next step in your pipeline. And to do that, you need to do what most humans find really hard, which is you need to face rejection. Now, most people are terrified of rejection because it's human nature. We are tribal creatures and we want to stay within our tribe and we don't want to be rejected from our tribe. So here's the thing, instead of what I used to do, which is opening 100 conversations every day and never actually moving them down the pipeline, instead, I just focus on having 5 high quality conversations per day. And I highlight the 5 hottest people in my pipeline. And by the end of the day, I've asked each one to take the next step, whether that's viewing my offer document, maybe watching a key video like my video sales letter, or whatever makes sense. And here's the key to actually getting people off the fence. You need to stretch the pain gap. You need to make them feel like where they're at now versus where they want to be is really big. And then once you've done that, you just do what I do, which is I send them a simple document with my entire offer in them. And then finally, you just got to hold their hand into land, which is, guess what? When people are going to send people thousands of dollars online, it's not going to be easy for them to overcome that friction. So every single step of the way, you want to be there making it clear to them, okay, this is the next step, this is what's going to happen next. And you want to make it really simple for them to actually complete the transaction, start working with you. Okay, so this exact system that has made me a shitload of money in the last 9 months. And I'm pretty flabbergasted, that's a great word, that I haven't done a single sales call to do it. And look, the truth is that sales calls are going to be dead in the next 10 years. Like how AI is moving at the moment and how like the current generations actually want to buy stuff, that is just all about to completely change. So look, if you want my exact offer document that's closed over $500,000 in the past 9 months, and my FAQ video that kind of handles every objection so you can see how I do it, and the full breakdown of how this chat to close system works, hit the link below and DM me on Instagram and I'll send you everything. And if you want to see how I've built the Goodwill bank account that makes all of this possible, the long form content strategy that creates so much trust that people basically just sell themselves, check out this video next. Right, that was sick. I'll see you in the next one.